Uh, Assalamu alaikum. Today we'll discuss the very important topic, that is the clinical correlates of the eye. So today we'll discuss the very important conditions of the eye, and I'm Dr. Sadia Fandi. So first of all, we'll discuss the little bit anatomy. To understand any abnormality, it is very necessary to understand the anatomy first. So what is the anatomy of the eyeball? I'm just giving a little bit review about the eyeball, eye socket, and the जो है आपकी eyelid of the eye. So this is the socket of the eye, as I already previously teach you about this, but today is a somewhat review of this. So this is a this eye socket is formed by the multiple bones. This is a frontal bone. This is a upper rim of the orbit is formed by the frontal bone. The lateral wall of the orbit is formed by the zygomatic bone, and the inferior wall is formed by the maxillary bone and the zygomatic bone, and the medial wall is formed by the frontal bone and the maxillary bone. So inside the socket, the few bones are present. That is the lacrimal bone. This is the ethmoid bone. This is the lesser wing of sphenoid. This is the greater wing of sphenoid. And to know the each and every wall of the orbit is very necessary, because in the fractures, the superior wall, the inferior wall, the medial wall, the lateral wall, the floor of the orbit is damaged or fractured. So that's why we have to know the clear anatomy of the eye of the orbit. Okay, then this is the this is the eyeball. So what is the anatomy of the eyeball? So eyeball has a three layers: fibrous layer, and the vascular layer, and the neural layer. So it has three layers. The fibrous layer is formed by the uh, this is the majority of the fibrous layer, any 5 out of 6, it is formed by the sclera. 1 out of 6, it is formed by the cornea. So major part of the fibrous layer is formed by the sclera. The next layer is the vascular layer. So this is the vascular layer which contains the blood vessels and connective tissue, and this is the layer which gives the nutrition to the eyeball. So this layer is called choroid. So this choroidal layer is present after the fibrous layer, and the innermost layer is the retina, that is the neural layer. The neural layer has two parts. One is the pigmental layer, which is fixed with the choroid, and other is the neural layer, which contains the rods and cones. This is the light sensitive layer. So this is the light sensitive layer. The pigmented layer of the retina, sorry the choroid is actually move forward and forms the ciliary body and the iris. So ciliary body and the iris, they are actually parts of the choroid. Okay, and after that we have a neural layer. The neural layer also has two parts. One is the pigmented layer and other is the neural layer. So the neural layer will stop, which is light sensitive layer, is stopped behind the ciliary body. So up to here, the all the layers are called ora serrata. Okay, and the pigmental layer of the retina, which is fixed with the choroid, and it provides the nutrition to the retina, जो है light sensitive layer. uh, the choroidal layer, the pigmental layer of the retina will cover the ciliary body and the iris. So we have three important layers. One is the fibrous layer. जो है आपका fibrous layer forms the sclera forms the majority of the fibrous layer, and the cornea only form the 1/6, and the sclera form the 5/6 of the fibrous layer. And after that we have a vascular layer. Vascular layer is called choroid. It actually covers the eyeball, and it also forms the ciliary body and the iris. So this is a layer which contains the connective tissue and blood vessels, and it provides the nutrition to the eyeball. And third is a neural layer. Neural layer has a two parts. One is the pigmented part, which is fixed with this choroid, and other is the neural part, which contains the rods and cones and bipolar cell and ganglionic cell. This actually present, this covers the eyeball and just over behind the ciliary body, but the pigmented part of the retina covers the ciliary body and the iris. So this is all about the three layers. Okay, so we have two chambers. The chamber which is between the cornea and the iris is called anterior chamber. This is beta, this is cornea. Okay, white transparent layer which actually reflects the eye and focuses over the lens. Okay, so we have two chambers. One is the anterior chamber and another is the posterior chamber, because we have to discuss the glaucoma. आपको पता है glaucoma is a disease in which the intraocular pressure is raised. So this is an anterior chamber between the cornea and the iris. This is an anterior chamber, and between the iris and the cornea here is a very important structure, that is the canal of Schillem. So canal of Schillem actually drains the aqueous humor, and it maintains the intraocular pressure in the eye. It is a trabeculated meshwork which contains the episcleral vessels, which absorbs the aqueous humor and actually pours it into a blood circulation. So here is the canal of the Schillem is present between the iris and the cornea. Okay? So, and behind the iris and the lens and the zonular ligaments, this is a posterior chamber. So this is a ciliary body, and this ciliary body produces the aqueous humor. This ciliary body produces the aqueous humor, and from the posterior chamber, this aqueous humor enters into an anterior chamber. Between the cornea and the iris, we have an anterior chamber, and behind the iris and in front of the zonular ligaments, we have a posterior chamber. So this is a posterior chamber, beta. अगर आप यहाँ देखेंगे तो this is a ciliary body, and these are zonular ligaments, and this is a posterior chamber behind the iris and in front of the zonular ligaments. This is a posterior chamber. Ciliary body, when produces the aqueous humor, it comes first in the posterior chamber and via the pupil. So between the iris, two iris diaphragms, there is a small aperture. That small aperture is called pupil. So through the posterior chamber, the aqueous humor actually enters into an anterior chamber, and then through the canal of Schillem, it enters into the blood circulation. So this is how the intraocular pressure is maintained by the canal of Schillem. So this is very important. If it is the trabeculated meshwork is not if the trabeculated meshwork is not properly working, or the iris is at its own position and the angle is open, but the trabeculated meshwork is not working and it is not draining the aqueous humor properly, this is called angle open glaucoma. ये देख रहे हैं आप, आयरस अपनी जगह पर है, कॉर्निया अपनी जगह पर है, यहाँ पर अगर ट्रैबिकुलेटेड मैशवर्क काम नहीं करा तो बेटा अगर उस प्रॉपरली एक्वस ह्यूमर को ड्रेन नहीं कर रहा तो इट इज नॉट प्रॉपर प्रॉब्लम इन द एंगल, इट इज एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम इन द ट्रैबिकुलेटेड मैशवर्क. So this condition is called open angle glaucoma. If the iris actually moves from its place and actually covers the canal of Schillem, so this is called secondary glaucoma. So angle closed glaucoma और इसको secondary glaucoma भी कहते हैं. Got it? So when the iris blocks the canal of Schillem, this is called जो है angle closed glaucoma. If iris is at its own place, the trabeculated meshwork has some problem, or if it is not draining the aqueous humor, or जो है that is called the angle closed glaucoma. So today we'll discuss the two types of glaucoma. Okay, so these are the ciliary bodies, very important. अच्छा पहले हम iris के बारे में डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. Iris is actually a component of the choroid, and it has two muscles, two types of muscles. It contains the circular muscles, which causes the constriction of the pupil. ठीक है, the circular muscle will cause the constriction of the pupil, छोटा हो जाएगा pupil, that is called miosis. On the circular muscles, which causes the constriction, the parasympathetic nerve works and causes the constriction. ठीक है, तो एसिटाइल कोलिन रिलीज होगा और कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन हो जाएगी. The another muscle which is present in the iris, this is a radial muscle which causes the dilatation of the pupil, यानी mydriasis, बड़ा हो जाना pupil का. ठीक है, so the जो आपका radial muscle है, over which the sympathetic nerve acts and it causes the जो है आपका dilatation. तो it has two muscles. The circular muscle is under control of parasympathetic, and the radial muscles under the control of sympathetic. So the parasympathetic causes the meiosis, a narrowing of the pupil, and that is called meiosis. And जो आपका sympathetic है, that causes the dilatation of the pupil and causes the mydriasis. So this is about the pupil, how it becomes small and how it becomes large, how it becomes dilated. ठीक है, so beta, this is a lens. ठीक है, the lens has a anterior capsule, the posterior capsule, the anterior cortex, the posterior cortex, and the nucleus of the lens. So in some conditions it becomes जो है clouded. So this condition is called cataract. So cataract क्या है? When the lens is not properly receiving the light through the cornea, and it is not focusing over the retina, and it becomes clouded, and it causes the to vision becomes blurred or clouded. So this is called cataract. So cataract, the capsule, the anterior cortex, the posterior cortex, the nucleus of the lens becomes clouded. It becomes pearly white, and it causes the person to it gives the person to a blurred vision. So this is a condition. This is called a cataract, and in which we actually learn the about the lens and about the disease of the lens. This is very common condition, cataract, glaucoma, and we'll discuss all very important conditions today. Acha, these are the zonular ligaments, and they are actually these zonular ligaments, posteriorly they are attached to the ciliary body and anteriorly they are attached over the lens. ठीक है बेटा. So when the ciliary body has three types of muscle, it has a longitudinal muscles, it has a circular muscles, and it has a radial muscles. So whenever the ciliary body contracts, these zonular ligaments become loose or slackens. ये loose हो जाएंगे, and it actually decreases the grip over the lens. Lens को भी ढीला कर देंगे. So the lens become rounded and rounded or spherical, and this is called accommodation. And this condition actually gives a प्रॉपर नियर विजन. जब भी आप कोई चीज करीब से देखने की कोशिश करते हैं, द सीलियरी बॉडी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, these zonular ligaments become relaxed or slackens, and it decreases the grip over the lens. So the lens becomes rounded or spherical, and it gives you an accommodation to see a proper near vision. So this is about the zonular ligaments. Acha, okay. Then what happens when the ciliary body becomes relaxed? These zonular ligaments become tight, and it completely grips and over the lens, and it flattens the lens. So this is actually for the far sightedness. When you want to see an object which is a bit far away, for this the lens becomes flat. In this condition, the ciliary body becomes relaxed, the zonular ligaments become tight, and it pulls the lens, and it causes the lens to become flat to see a properly a far object. So it is better for the far sightedness. Okay, and we have a transparent jelly-like substance which is called vitreous humor, which is behind the it extends behind the lens up to the posterior part of the retina. So it gives a firmness to the eyeball. This is a vitreous humor, which causes the firmness to the eyeball. It extends from the posterior to the lens and up to the retina. So up to from here to here, a jelly-like transparent fluid is present. This is called vitreous humor. ठीक है. अच्छा, okay. अच्छा, over the cornea, over the sclera, we have a transparent layer. अगर आप यहाँ देखेंगे तो यहाँ आपको यहाँ नहीं, ये नजर आ रहा है. इट एक्चुअली जो ट्रांसपेरेंट लेयर है विच कवर्स, यहाँ नजर, ये नजर आ रहा है बेटा. इट कवर्स द स्क्लेरा एंड इट ऑल्सो कवर्स द, जो है आपका हमें एक ट्रांसपेरेंट लेयर है दैट इज एक्चुअली कवर्स द आपका जो है स्क्लेरा एंड इट ऑल्सो कवर्स द पल्पेब्रा. यहाँ यहाँ ये रही बेटा, ये देखें. सो इट कवर्स द स्क्लेरा. This is a conjunctiva, and the conjunctiva which covers the sclera and the cornea, it is called bulbar conjunctiva, and this is the superior fornix. ठीक है. And when it reflects over the eyelid, this is called a palpebral conjunctiva. So here, this is a lens, this is an iris, this is a cornea. Over the cornea, this very flimsy layer, this is called conjunctiva. Okay? It covers the sclera, and then it moves, and this is called, when it moves around the palpebra, this angle is called superior fornix, and then it covers the eyelid. ठीक है. So this is called palpebral conjunctiva. This is called the bulbar conjunctiva. And when the eye closes, this in the conjunctival sac, when the eye closes, these two from the two sides, it forms a sac, and oily जो है आपका, somewhat it lubricates the eyeball and the eyelid. ठीक है. So this is a conjunctival sac which covers the cornea and sclera. Then it moves. This is called superior fornix, and then it covers the जो है eyelid. This is called palpebral conjunctiva. So ये आपको समझ आ गया. So when the inflammation occurs in the conjunctival sac, it is called conjunctivitis. ठीक है. So the white portion of the eye, it seems to be red because of the inflammation of the blood vessels of the conjunctiva. तो ये आपका हम पढ़ेंगे आज conjunctiva. अच्छा, अब lid, what is the anatomy of the lid? This is the skin. ठीक है बेटा. This is the orbicularis oculi, a muscle. ठीक है. अच्छा, this is an orbital septum. This is a tarsal plate which contains the meibomian glands which secretes the oily secretion. This is tarsal plate and meibomian glands which secretes oily secretion. This is orbital septum which is joined with the tarsal plate. This is a levator palpebrae superiorus. ठीक है. This is a levator palpebrae superiorus which actually elevates the eyelid upward. Levator palpebrae superiorus. This is under the control of third nerve, that is oculomotor nerve. And this is a very small muscle. This is called Muller's muscle. This is under the control of sympathetic जो है आपका sympathetic outflow. ठीक है. ये sympathetic जो है उसके कंट्रोल में है, and that is also helps the levator palpebrae superiorus to elevate the eyelid, but it has a very minimal action. Muller's muscle and the levator palpebrae superiorus attaches with the tarsal plate. अच्छा, two types of glands which are called the glands of Moll and Zeiss. Zeiss are releases the sebaceous or oily secretion. Then the Moll is a apocrine gland or the sweat gland, which is present between a space between the eyelashes. ठीक है. And Moll is a sweat gland, apocrine gland. ठीक है. So these two glands are also present between the जो आपके eyelashes हैं. So this is again inferior eyelid. This is a tarsal plate, orbicularis oculi. These are the Moll and Zeiss, the glands, and this is an orbital septum. So this is all about the lid anatomy. So we'll do different condition like chalazion. And what is the chalazion? Actually, a swelling over the eyelid because of the inflammation of the meibomian glands. ठीक है. And we'll discuss the a lot much structures. अच्छा मैं एक और चीज आपको बताना भूल गई. This is an optic disc. This is a blind spot in which the light sensitive receptors are not present. Through the optic disc, actually the central artery of the retina and the optic nerve enters into the eyeball. So this area is called a blind spot or optic disc, and this area, yellowish area over the retina, is called macula, and in the macula we have some depression. This is called fovea. The fovea is actually contains the collection of the जो है आपका cons की. This is a cons is a light sensitive receptor, and this fovea will give you a better visual acuity and the color vision, because the con it is fovea is filled with the cons are light sensitive receptors, and due to the fovea and the density of the cons, it will sorry, it will give you a better vision. This fovea will give you a better light vision. It will give you a better visual acuity and a color vision. So this is a fovea. Okay, beta. So we have discussed somewhat anatomy of review of the anatomy, and now it will help us to understand the clinical anatomy. So our first, so this is again, this is a skin, this is the orbicularis oculi, this is an orbital septum, this is a tarsal plate which contains the Meibelman glands, and the inflammation or the infection of the Meibelman glands will form the callozone, and these are the glands of Zeiss and Moll. Zeiss and Moll, which is present between the space between the eyelashes, and the Zeiss secrete the oily secretion, and the Moll secrete the Moll is a sweat gland. So this is a conjunctival sac which covers the bulbar conjunctiva, and this is a superior fornix. The turning of the conjunctiva from the bulbar area towards the palpebral area, this is called superior fornix, and then it comes and underlying the palpebral conjunctiva. When the eyelids becomes closed, okay, this is a bulbar, this is a palpebral conjunctiva. So this is a conjunctival sac. When the eyes become closed, it actually lubricates the eyeball and the palpebral area. अच्छा, this is a जो है आपका tarsal plate. This is a orbital septum. This is a Muller's muscle which is under the control of sympathetic autonomic nervous system, and this is the levator palpebrae superioris. This is under the control of oculomotor nerve. Acha. And this is a tarsal plate, and this is a conjunctival sac. Acha, okay, we'll move forward. Actually, the sclera is a fibrous layer that is called the sclera, which receives the insertion of many muscles like superior rectus, inferior rectus, lateral rectus, medial rectus, superior oblique, inferior oblique. We'll discuss all the problems of the eye today. Okay? So what is eye trauma? Eyeball is in the socket of the eye, bony socket. Eyeball is in a bony socket. It is actually protected by a bony socket. So the eyeball is well protected by the surrounding bony orbit, which gives the protection from the large objects such as tennis ball, which tend to strike the orbital margin but not to the globe. It will not injure the globe, but just provides the trauma to the orbital margins, bigger objects. The bony orbit provides no protection from small objects such as golf balls, which can cause severe damage to the eye. Matlab, the golf ball has a smaller size, so it can gives the trauma to the eyeball. Okay? Careful examination of the eyeball relative to the orbital margin. So this is a superior margin, medial margin, inferior margin, and the lateral margin. So you have to carefully examine the margins of the eyeball or the orbit, and which show that the least protected from the lateral side. So it is least protected from the lateral side. We'll move forward. So this is a golf ball. It causes the damage to the eye, and this is the जो है आपकी ecchymosis. Ecchymosis means swelling or trauma of the extraocular tissues called the ecchymosis. ठीक है, so it gives the trauma to the extraocular muscles and produces the swelling, so the patient is not able to open the eye. So the sometimes the larger objects will not actually damage the eyeball. The smaller objects actually enters the eyeball and causes a severe trauma. Here the patient has a black eye. The hemorrhage is occur trauma, and the hemorrhages occur in the extraocular tissue that converts the eye into a black eye. ठीक है, here the trauma causes the damage into the sclera and causes the bleeding in the sclera. So sometimes the sometimes the bigger objects, they are not so much dangerous, because the smaller objects, they are very dangerous to the eye. Sometimes this is an orbit. All the margins of the orbits are intact: the superior wall, the medial wall, the inferior wall, and the lateral wall. But in this object, in this picture, the all the walls are not intact. The inferior wall is actually fractured. So this fracture, the fracture of the orbit in which the inferior wall is actually damaged, this is called जो है आपका ब्लो आउट फ्रैक्चर. इस फ्रैक्चर का नाम क्या है जिसमें इंफीरियर वॉल डैमेज हो? दिस इज कॉल्ड ब्लो आउट फ्रैक्चर. एंड व्हाट इज द सिम्टम्स ऑफ द ब्लो आउट फ्रैक्चर? पेरी ऑर्बिटल एक्मोसिस. मतलब द पेरी ऑर्बिटल extraocular tissue is actually damaged and it become inflamed, or sometimes the severe bleeding turns it into a black eye. ठीक है, so extraocular tissues damage and forms a जो है bruises or a bleeding or ecchymosis. This is called ecchymosis. Emphysema, yani after the damage of the tissues, the air entry into extraocular tissues occur. ठीक है, infraorbital nerve, because here in this fracture the orbit and the fatty tissue which is around the orbit, through this broken infraorbital margin, enters into a maxillary sinus. So here the sinus is filled with air, but here due to the damage of the infraorbital margin, the orbital fat and the orbit sinks down into the maxillary sinus. ठीक है, it causes the anophthalmosis. Anophthalmosis मैंने the when the जो आपका eyeball है, it sinks down into an जो है sinks down or go posteriorly into a orbit. So this is called anophthalmosis. ठीक है, so the anophthalmosis and ophthalmoplegia. Ophthalmoplegia means actually what happened in this blowout fracture, the inferior rectus muscle actually trapped down, and it will not allow. What is the function of the inferior rectus? It pulls the eyeball down. So what is the function of superior rectus? It pulls the eyeball upward. So when the inferior rectus is actually trapped in this fracture, ठीक है, what happened कि जो upward gaze है आपका, up and down gaze, patient develop the diplopia, and upward gaze is actually not possible in this case. In blowout fractures, the infraorbital nerve is also damaged. What is the function of infraorbital nerve? It supplies the cheek and the जो है upper maxilla. ठीक है, so there's no sensation in the cheek and the upper lip. ठीक है, so this is due to the damage of the infraorbital nerve, due to the damage of the inferior rectus muscle. Patient is not able to, this is a normal eye, this is an abnormal eye, or the after the trauma, so patient not able to see the up. ठीक है, so what happened, patient is not move the eyeball up and down, a patient develops the diplopia, double vision. ठीक है, so ophthalmoplegia due to the entrapment of the inferior rectus muscle and inferior orbital nerve damage, and the damage tissues damage of the which are extraocular tissues, they are also damaged. So, and ophthalmosis is also present. This is all about the blowout fractures which are very common. So this is an abnormal area, shows the ecchymosis and the black eye, and the patient is not able to move the eyeball up and down. So patient develop the diplopia because the inferior rectus muscle entrapment and the inferior orbital nerve is damaged. So the patient develop the anesthesia of the cheek and the upper lip, and ophthalmosis. And so these are all the symptoms of the जो है आपका blowout fracture. So what is blowout fracture? The fracture of the orbital floor involving the maxillary sinus. If the force is applied to the eye, the orbital fat explodes inferiorly. They drips into a maxillary sinus because now the opening is there. The inferior orbital margin is no more. So the fat which is present in the eyeball, slowly and gradually it drifts downward into the maxillary sinus and fracturing the orbital floor. ठीक है, displacement of the eyeball leads to the double vision and diplopia. Obviously, when there is an opening downward, the displacement of the eyeball is very common. The fracture can injure the infraorbital nerve, producing a loss of sensation of cheek and the gum on that side. ठीक है बेटा, so this is all about the blowout fracture. Entrapment of the inferior rectus muscle in the fracture may limit the upward gaze. ठीक है, so patient has a difficulty to in the upward gaze. It has a loss of anesthesia. It has a ophthalmoplegia. So and the ecchymosis all around. So this is all about the blowout fracture. And what is blowout fracture? The damage of the inferior orbital margin. So अच्छा, ये एक और condition है. This is a normal eye, ठीक है? And see this is an abnormal alignment of the eyeball, ठीक है? And this is an abnormal alignment of the eyeball. This condition is called strabismus. Strabismus, or in the layman, in the people will call squint, bhengapan. So this is a abnormal alignment of the eyeball. This is called strabismus in our language. In a layman language, we'll call it squint or a bhengapan. So this is not because the muscles are paralyzed. This is all because in majority of the cases, due to the when the opposite muscles, they are not working properly. What do you mean by opposite muscle? आप कहेंगे, what madam, what do you mean by the opposite muscle? Suppose the muscles which medially rotate the eyeball. So this is medial rectus, and the lateral rectus which actually not working properly, so the eyeball properly move medially. The muscles which are supplied by the oculomotor nerve, that is the superior rectus, inferior oblique, or आपका जो है medial rectus. So these superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, and inferior oblique, although they have their own functions, but the main function is to medially rotate the eye. The lateral rectus, which is supplied by the cranial nerve 6 abducent nerve, causes the balance the eyeball in the center. So if the opposite muscle, that is the lateral rectus, if it is not working properly, the eyeball will move medially. So it is because of the deficiency of the opposite muscle which is not working properly, the patient has an abnormal alignment of the eyeball, or in nowadays it is properly corrected by the doctor. So जब भी कोई आपको ऐसा patient मिले, always जो है refer to the eye department, because now this condition is completely corrected. ठीक है? So this is all about, because the abnormal alignment is due to because the opposite muscles, they are not working properly. If the eyeball will go upward, so it means the superior rectus is working, the inferior rectus is not working properly, so the eyeball is moving upward, it is not in the center. So when the two opposite muscles, they are working properly, the eyeball has a normal position. ठीक है बेटा? So what is strabismus? It is an abnormal alignment of the eyes due to an imbalance of the muscles of the eyeball, called also squint. When the opposite muscles are not working properly, patient will develop the squint or the strabismus. And many cases of strabismus are non-paralytic. The paralysis of the muscle is not there in many of the cases, but the imbalance of the action of the opposing muscles actually is the cause. The type of strabismus, this type of strabismus is known as concomitant strabismus, and it is common in infancy. ठीक है? So आपको पता चला कि what is strabismus and what is the actual cause behind the squint or strabismus. Moving forward, another important, very important condition. Today I'm going to discuss, that is the glaucoma. Glaucoma is the raised intraocular pressure, and it has two types, as I already discussed, any open angle glaucoma and the closed angle glaucoma. What is open angle? When the problem is in the trabeculated meshwork. The iris is on place, but the trabeculated meshwork has a problem, which is not actually draining the aqueous humor. Aqueous humor is produced by the ciliary body, released into a posterior chamber first, then through the pupil it enters into an anterior chamber, and canal of Schillem is present between the iris and the cornea. Here is a trabeculated meshwork is present, in which the episcleral vessels are there, which actually drains the aqueous humor and जो है transfer it into a blood circulation. So when the open angle, when the problem is in the trabeculated meshwork and the iris is on place, the angle is open. This is called open angle glaucoma. When the iris moves and closes the canal of Schillem, this is called closed angle glaucoma. So we have two types of glaucoma. So this is trabeculated meshwork. This is flowing of the aqueous humor from the posterior chamber to the anterior chamber बेटा, ठीक है. और आप देखेंगे कि यहाँ this is normal anatomy, and in this picture the pressure is raised because okay, whether it is closed angle, whether it is open angle, what is the cause, but it is raising the pressure inside the eyeball. This is called glaucoma. Okay? So what is glaucoma? It is an eye disease where the eye's optic nerve is damaged. It is one of the leading cause of blindness. Okay? So whether it is open angle or closed angle, this is a leading cause of blindness because it affects the optic nerve and it causes the damage of the optic nerve. ठीक है. Aqueous humor is produced by the ciliary body and flow into a posterior chamber behind the iris. ये मैं आपको बता चुकी हूँ. It released by the ciliary body, first flows into a posterior chamber, then it comes into an anterior chamber. The trabeculated meshwork filters the aqueous humor into a canal of Schillem, where it is picked by the episcleral vessel and mixed it with to the blood circulation. So ये भी आपको पता चल चुका है. ठीक है. Moving forward, this is a trabeculated meshwork, this is an iris, this is a cornea, so this is a ciliary body. So this is open angle because the iris is on place, ठीक है. And if the problem is in the trabeculated meshwork, this is open angle. If the iris covers the canal of Schillem and obstruct the canal of Schillem and obstructing the aqueous humor not to flow into a canal of Schillem, this is called closed angle. तो यहाँ से iris उठ के यहाँ चला जाएगा. So this is called closed angle. So these are the two causes which causes the raised intraocular pressure in the eye and eventually leads to a blindness. ठीक है. हम आगे चले जाते हैं. The optic nerve is a bundle of nerve fibers. It carries the visual information from the retina to the brain. ज़ाहिर है अगर visual information from the retina to the brain will not go, the patient feels there's a visual loss. So immediately we have to tackle this condition. ठीक है. Fluid circulation, the fluid exits the eye at an angle between an iris and the cornea. This is, here is a trabeculated meshwork is present. This is called canal of Schillem. And the cornea where it drains through a spongy meshwork. Here is a trabeculated meshwork or canal of the Schillem is present. अच्छा. Risk factors. What are the causes and the risk which develops the glaucoma? बहुत common condition है, इसलिए बहुत समझना इसका ज़रूरी है और आपके examiners भी पूछते हैं. So either the family history of glaucoma, congenital, और the aging. बड़ी एज में glaucoma अक्सर हो जाया करता है. So elder age, which is the cause of the जो है आपका glaucoma. Ocular hypertension is a condition where the pressure in your eyes or intraocular pressure is too high. Continually high pressure within the eye can eventually damage the optic nerve, lead to glaucoma and permanent visual loss. So ocular hypertension. अच्छा. समटाइम्स जो जिनको जो है हाइड्रोकेफेलस होता है, रेस्ड जो है आपका सेरिब्रोस्पाइनल फ्लूइड होता है, बच्चों को या बड़ों को हो जाता है ड्यू टू एनी ट्रॉमा. दोज हु हैव एन हाइड्रोकेफेलस दे आल्सो एक्सपीरियंसेस द जो है ग्लाइकोमा और ऑक्यूलर हाइपरटेंशन. ठीक है बेटा. अच्छा. आई ट्रॉमा हुआ है कोई, उसके बाद glaucoma हो गया, it is the most commonly caused by the blunt trauma, which is injury that does not penetrate the eye, such as blow to the head or injury directly to the eye. मतलब या तो ब्रेन इंजरी हुई है या आई इंजरी हुई है, this can lead to increased eye pressure which can damage the optic nerve. So increase, if the trauma is occurred to the brain, it increases the cerebrospinal fluid, that also leads to the glaucoma, or the damage or injury to the eyeball, this also leads to the raise intraocular pressure. Ocular surgery, after the cataract surgery, most of the time the intraocular pressure become raised, but this is for a few days. It can cause a change in the eye's pressure. Ocular surgery, sharp increases in eye pressure are called pressure spikes and sometimes occur in patients after cataract surgery. ठीक है, often these pressure spikes are short term and can be treated with medicines. बहुत short term के लिए होता है, और medicines डॉक्टर को पहले पता होता है कि ये ocular pressure raise होगा, तो वो पहले ही medicines दे देता है. Those patients who are suffering from migraine, they have also tendency to develop the glaucoma. Prolonged increased pressure can lead to visual loss if it is not corrected. So those who are suffering from migraine should get a regular checkup of the eye also. So black ethnicity, in these people, they have a tendency to develop the glaucoma very early age. African Americans are also more likely to develop the glaucoma at a younger age and suffer blindness from the disease. The genetic causes underlying glaucoma remain unclear, but these ethnic disparities at the risk of developing glaucoma suggest a genetic basis that is ethnicity specific. But the genetic cause is there, that's where they develop the glaucoma very early age. Prolonged use of systemic steroids. अच्छा, सिस्टमिक स्टेरॉइड्स कौन लेते हैं? जो एस्थमेटिक्स होते हैं बेचारे, वो अपना एस्थमा रिलीफ करने के लिए जो है वो जो है वो जो है ये एड्रेनलिन वगैरह की गोलियां खाते रहते हैं और ये रिलैक्स करने के लिए. सो दोज हु आर टेकिंग द जो है सिस्टमिक स्टेरॉइड्स, कॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉइड्स और दिस एंड दैट, तो उसमें क्या होगा कि ये जो है दिस ऑल्सो इंक्रीजेज द इंट्राओकुलर प्रेशर. ठीक है. अच्छा, व्हाट इज प्राइमरी ओपन एंगल ग्लाइकोमा? प्राइमरी ओपन एंगल ग्लाइकोमा इज द मोस्ट कॉमन फॉर्म ऑफ ग्लाइकोमा. इट अकर्स व्हेन द फ्लूइड ड्रेनेज इज पुअर. Here the problem is in the trabeculated meshwork. It is not the iris which moves from their place and obstruct the जो है angle. तो यहाँ meshwork में है problem, angle open है, तो open angle है ये. ठीक है. It occurs when the fluid drainage is poor and the fluid builds up in the eye and the internal eye pressure goes up. The increased pressure can cause damage to the optic nerve and causes the visual loss. The exact mechanism of damage still is unknown. Okay, what is the cause of obstructing the trabeculated meshwork? The angle is open, everything is normal. Why the trabeculated meshwork is not draining the aqueous humor? This cause is still unknown. But we know that the problem is in the trabeculated meshwork, which is not draining the aqueous humor properly. So initially in that patient, the uh, primary open angle glaucoma patient develops gradually and painlessly and has a no initial symptom. यहाँ देखिए पिक्चर बिल्कुल साफ नजर आ रही है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ग्लाइकोमा होना जो शुरू हो गया है, लेकिन स्टिल विजन में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. The vision is normal in early stages of glaucoma. ठीक है. Okay. फिर if untreated, the peripheral or the side vision is slowly lost. यहाँ आप देखें ये सारा एरिया जो है पिक्चर का ब्लैक हो गया, सिर्फ इट हैज अ टनल विजन, बीच से नजर आ रहा है, बाकी सारी पेरिफेरल विजन हैज लॉस्ट. इफ अनट्रीटेड द पेरिफेरल और द साइड विजन इज स्लोली लॉस्ट. ये देखिए, सो बीच वाला एरिया नजर आ रहा है, तो टनल विजन है. द डिफेक्टिव साइड which in which the objects cannot be properly seen if not close to the center of the field. अब बहुत close आके आपको ऑब्जेक्ट को देखना पड़ता है. तो central vision is there but the peripheral vision has gone slowly and gradually. Eventually all the vision may lost. So these are the symptoms of the open angle glaucoma. If the intraocular pressure has raised, slowly and gradually the peripheral vision has lost, then the central vision is there, but slowly and gradually the central vision is also lost. So the complete blindness is there. So the primary angle closure glaucoma. When this type of glaucoma is an emergency situation, it occurs when the iris itself blocks the drainage angle and results in sudden increase in pressure. When the iris moves and blocks the angle, this is called closed angle. Symptoms include severe eye pain, nausea, eye redness, and very blurred vision, and eventually the visual blindness, because if it is not treated properly, so these condition or symptom switch over and causes the blindness of the eye. Immediate treatment is required. So this is secondary glaucoma. Glaucoma can develop as a complication from other conditions, ठीक है, except the open angle and closed angle. There's another glaucoma which is secondary glaucoma. This is occurred due to another cause, that is eye injuries, diabetes, steroid use. If you leave these things, if you correct these things, the condition will automatically back to normal. ठीक है बेटा? So what is the instrument by which you check the increase intraocular pressure? Eye pressure is measured with an instrument called a tonometer. So this is a tonometer by which you check the intraocular pressure. ठीक है? Ophthalmoscopy. And what is ophthalmoscopy? It actually by which this we can check the retina and optic nerve. So first of all, we put eye drops, may be placed in the eyes. पहले हम eye drops डालते हैं to dilate the pupils. ठीक है? तो मैंने आपको बताया था कि आयरिस के अंदर जो है हम दो टाइप के मसल्स होते हैं, सर्कुलर मसल होता है, एक रेडियल मसल होता है. सर्कुलर कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन यानी मायोसिस कराता है. So the it provides the limited light to enter into the eye. और जो डायलिटेशन कराता है वो रेडियल मसल है जो ऑटोनॉमिक सिंपैथेटिक की कंट्रोल में है. ठीक है? सो डायलिटेशन हम करेंगे वाया द जो है आपके नॉर एड्रेनलिन और एड्रेनलिन के जो ड्रॉप्स होंगे वो आईज में डालकर आप डायलिटेशन करेंगे प्यूपल की. एंड then special magnifying through the special magnifying lens to examine the retina and the optic nerve. So this is a normal optic nerve and this is such a clouded and this is a suspicious optic nerve. ठीक है? So we have did the tonometry to जो है to see the pressure of the eye, and we have did the ophthalmoscopy to see the condition of the retina and the optic nerve. Acha, what is the treatment of the glaucoma? The laser treatment. Through the laser, we'll treat this condition, or via the surgery, we will open the trabeculated meshwork, and this is called trabeculotomy. Many to form a space or to form a space in the trabeculated meshwork to properly drain the aqueous humor. This is called trabeculotomy. So this is via the laser. This is an iris. This is a cornea. So you are putting some opening here for which to fluid when passes from the posterior chamber to the anterior chamber. So we are putting some opening here via the laser. Acha. So this is the anatomy of the lens. This is the lens. This is the ciliary body. These are the zonular ligaments, and this is the lens. The anterior capsule of the lens. This is the posterior capsule of the lens. This is the posterior capsule. The anterior cortex of the lens and the posterior cortex of the lens, and this is the nucleus of the lens. So this is all about the lens, which actually receives the light from the cornea, and it actually focuses on the retina. So its duty is to focus the image over the retina. ठीक है? So cataract क्या है? It is a clouding of the lens. So this is a normal lens. This is a clouded lens. ठीक है? So it causes cataract is a clouding of the lens or any opacity within the lens which leads to decrease in vision. So see this picture. The normal lens focuses the light on the retina. Normal lens focuses the light on the retina, and the clouded lens. This is a clouded lens, distorts and blocks the light, making the resulting image appear blurred or cloudy. So it makes this clouded lens makes the image blurred and cloudy. So this is a cataract. So this is a pearly white in color, and this is a clouded lens, and when the lens becomes clouded or jo pearly white, so it actually causes it gives the patient a blurred vision, or sometimes uh, uh, creates a problem for the patients. sometimes elderly patients, ठीक है. So what are the causes? Congenital causes are there, the familial, ठीक है, runs in the genes, and intrauterine infections, and the maternal drugs. Some the mother is taking some drugs that causes the cataract in the baby. This is congenital. And age, in the elderly age, most of the patient develops the cataract. So this is due to age. And metabolic causes, a patient suffering from diabetes, hypocalcemia, Wilson's disease, and galactosemia. These are the metabolic causes through which the patient develops the cataract very early. So what is mature cataract? It decreases the vision, severely decreases the vision symptoms, and the features are the complete opacification of the lens capsule, kidney cortex, and the nucleus. Lens appears pearly white in color. अभी मैंने आपको दिखाया pearly white in color हो जाता है. That's why it is clouded. That's why it decreases the severely decreases the vision. And when it becomes pearly white, this is called ripe cataract. मतलब पक चुका है. डॉक्टर के पास जाएंगे ना आपके, वो कहेगा बीबी आपका तो ये कैटरेक्ट जो है वो पक चुका है, मैच्योर हो गया है, तो आप इसको ऑपरेट करा लें. सो व्हेन द completely it the lens become completely clouded, this is called ripe cataract. So this is a pearly white in color, and this is a ripe cataract जिसे कहना चाहिए, ठीक है. So this is what is cataract? This is when the lens becomes clouded. It is not complete. Matlab, it obstructs the light. It blocks the light. It is not completely focusing the light over the retina. This is called cataract. So what is the treatment of the cataract? Cataract surgery involves removing the clouded lens, आप निकाल देंगे, and replacing it with a clear artificial lens. जिनके घर में दादा दादी नाना नानी हैं, उनके ऑपरेशन हो चुके होंगे, उन बच्चों को पता होगा, ठीक है. The artificial lens is positioned in the same place as your natural lens. तो वही लगा दिया जाता है वो आर्टिफिशियल लेंस भी. और आप आर्टिफिशियल लेंस देखेंगे तो वो चमक रहा होता है रात में भी और सूरज की रोशनी में भी. Acha, what is retinal detachment? Retinal detachment refers to the separation of the retinal pigmented layer from the sensory layer. मैंने आपको बताया the retina has two parts. One is the pigmented layer and other is the neural layer. The pigmented layer is actually joined with the choroid, and it gets the nutrition for the sensory layer of the retina. So when these two layers are separated from each other due to any trauma, due to any cause, what happens कि जो है the this is the pigmented layer which providing a nutrition to the sensory layer. If it is not with the sensory layer, what happens? This will degenerate. तो यही प्रोवाइड कर रही होती है कोरॉइड से, जो न्यूट्रिशन लेकर इसको प्रोवाइड कर रही होती है. अगर ये दोनों आपस से अलग हो जाएंगी तो सेंसरी लेयर जो है वो डीजेनरेट हो जाएगी. Okay, it is a separation of the sensory retina and the underlying pigments. So with fluid accumulation between the two layers, जब एक दूसरे से separate हो जाएंगे तो fluid बीच में accumulate हो जाएगा. This is called detached retina. ठीक है. So what are the risk factors? Increasing age, severe myopia. Myopia means near sightness. करीब की चीजें आप देख सकते हैं, दूर की आप नहीं इतना आराम से देख सकते. आई ट्रॉमा, रेटिनोपैथी, डायबिटीज वालों को बहुत जल्दी हो जाती है. And cataract and glaucoma surgery, family history, personal history. So these are the risk factors which develop the retinal detachment. Allah na kare. ठीक है. Clinical manifestation. What are the symptoms? Flashes of light in one or both eyes, blurred vision, visual loss, painless loss of peripheral or the central vision. So these are the symptoms. मैंने आपको बताया कैसे पेरिफेरल लॉस हो जाता है, कैसे सेंट्रल लॉस होता है. कंप्लीट लॉस, विजुअल लॉस भी हो सकता है, और ब्लर्ड यानी धुंधला विजन हो सकता है, और फ्लैशेस ऑफ लाइट फील होंगे पेशेंट को. सो दीज आर द सिम्टम्स. So how will you evaluate the patient? History आपने लेनी है, and you have to completely or thoroughly you have to physically examine the patient. On visual acuity measurement, ophthalmoscopy करनी है to check the retina and optic nerve. Slit lamp microscopy करनी है. By the slit lamp microscopy, you easily check the anterior chamber and posterior chambers of the eye. ठीक है. अल्ट्रासाउंड ऑफ द कॉर्निया, लेंस, एंड जो आपका है विट्रस इज ओपेक. What is infection of the eyelid? So a callus is a very common infection जो आपको यहाँ पर एक swelling सी हो जाती है, ठीक है. Can develop when a meibomian gland, मैंने आपको बताया tarsal plate के अंदर एक glands होते हैं जिसको meibomian glands कहते हैं, and that glands actually secretes the oily secretion. At the edge of an eyelid becomes blocked or inflamed. These glands produce oil that lubricates the surface of the eye. So this is called callus, and this is an inflammation of the meibomian gland. What is conjunctivitis? Inflammation. Conjunctival sac, the bulbar conjunctiva, which covers over the sclera and the cornea. Then it reflects. Then it covers the eyelid, and then this is called a palpebral conjunctiva. अभी मैंने आपको conjunctival sac दिखाया था. So when the pink eye conjunctivitis is an inflammation or infection of the transparent membrane conjunctiva that lines your eyelid and covers the white part of the eyeball. When small blood vessels in the conjunctiva become inflamed, they are more visible, and this is what causes the whites of your eyes to convert कर देते हैं to the reddish or pink. ठीक है? The inflammation of the conjunctiva is called conjunctivitis. बहुत commonly हो जाता है. ये देखें, reddish, white is converted into a red. This is called pink eye or red eye, whatever. So, but this is an inflammation of the conjunctiva. बहुत कॉमनली हो जाता है. एक और कंडीशन है विच इज वेरी कॉमन, दैट इज कॉल्ड एक्सऑप्थल्मोस. व्हाट इज एक्सऑप्थल्मोस? इट इज अ बल्जिंग ऑफ द आई एंटीरियरली आउट ऑफ द ऑर्बिट. देखिए कितना बल्ज होकर आईज बाहर आ गई हैं. द आई एंटीरियरली आउट ऑफ द ऑर्बिट, ये कौन सी कंडीशन में होता है? ग्रेव्स डिजीज. व्हेन द thyroid hormones become increased, this is called Graves' disease. The outward displacement of the eyeball is due to an abnormal connective tissue deposition हो जाती है in the back of the eyeball or in the extraocular muscles that actually pushes the eyeball forward. देख रहे हैं आप extra जो आपका abnormal connective tissue deposition behind the eyeball or in the extraocular muscle actually pushes the eyeball from the behind to फॉरवर्ड. ये देख रहे हैं कितनी बल्जिंग है. दिस इज कॉल्ड एक्स ऑप्थल्मोस. ऐसे पेशेंट्स आपको बहुत नजर आएंगे जब आप ओपीडी जाना शुरू होंगे. ठीक है, एक्स ऑप्थल्मोस. दिस इज ड्यू टू this is called Graves' disease and due to increased thyroid hormone levels in the blood. ठीक है. अच्छा, defects of the extraocular muscles. आपको पता है the oculomotor nerve, which is very very important, and the palsy of the oculomotor nerve will occur. This is a normal eye, this is an abnormal eye. Ptosis, इनएक्टिवेशन ऑफ द लेवेटर palpebrae superioris. मैंने आपको बताया था कि दो मसल्स हैं जो आई लिड को एलिवेट करते हैं. वन इज द लेवेटर palpebrae superioris which is supplied by the oculomotor nerve, and other is the Muller's muscle which is supplied by the sympathetic output. ठीक है. So these two muscles, this is the main muscle, levator palpebrae superioris. The minor role actually is of the Muller's muscle, ठीक है, which is under the sympathetic output. ठीक है. When this muscle, when this nerve palsy has occurred, so what happened? This levator palpebrae superioris will not work and the lid will come downward. ठीक है. This is called ptosis. Mydriasis, मैंने आपको बताया था कि iris has two important muscles. One is the constrictor muscle which is under the control of parasympathetic circular muscles, and the radial muscle which is under the control of sympathetic output. So when this oculomotor nerve, ठीक है, has some fibers of the parasympathetic. ठीक है बेटा. So when the parasympathetic जो fibers हैं through with the oculomotor nerve will not come downward, will not supply the circular muscle. ठीक है. ये Edinger of Westphal से आते हैं parasympathetic supply. ठीक है, which is in the oculomotor nerve. Actually when the parasympathetic supply is not work, circular muscles actually not work. So what happened? The जो आपके radial muscles हैं which is supplied by the sympathetic output will increases the diameter of the pupil. This is called mydriasis, and decreased tone of constrictor pupillae muscle. Due to the decreased tone of constrictor pupillae, because the parasympathetic is not there, the sympathetic will dominate and causes the increased size of the pupil. ठीक है. अच्छा, down and out, all the muscles are supplied by the oculomotor nerve, like superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, and inferior oblique. The two muscles, one is the superior oblique which is supplied by the trochlear nerve, and the lateral rectus is supplied by the sixth nerve or abducent nerve. So these become dominant if this nerve is not there. So the lateral rectus pulls the eyeball laterally, and the superior oblique function is to uh, uh, depress the eyeball. Okay, because the inferior oblique elevate the eyeball, and the superior oblique depresses the eyeball. So that's why the जो आपका due to this palsy, these two muscles become dominant and causes the eyeball out means laterally move कर जाएगा, और down means due to the superior oblique muscle it becomes down, so it becomes down and out. So the ptosis, the mydriasis, and the down and out. Why it is down and out? Because that when the oculomotor become nerve become palsy become occur, so these muscles which are not supplied by the oculomotor nerve, superior oblique and the lateral rectus muscle become dominant. अच्छा, इंजरी टू द एक्स्ट्राओकुलर मसल्स में एक और नर्व है, दैट इज द ट्रोक्लियर नर्व, कॉजेज द वीकनेस ऑफ द डाउनवर्ड आई मूवमेंट विद कॉन्सिक्वेंट वर्टिकल डिप्लोपिया. यहाँ जो है फोर्थ नर्व यानी ट्रोक्लियर नर्व जो है वो पैल्सी हो चुकी है, एंड द आई बॉल विल मूव अपवर्ड, medially and upward. So why it is upward? Because the superior oblique is not working, so that's why it is not at its normal position, any central position. Inferior oblique is working, but the opposite muscle is not working, that is superior oblique, so that's why the eyeball will move upward. Otherwise the superior oblique causes the eyeball to depress, and the inferior oblique will cause the eyeball to move upward. And that's why when these two opposite muscles are working, eyeball present in the center, nor up nor down, it is present in the center. But when one of the opposite muscle is paralyzed, what happened? The other will become dominant. The affected eye drifts upward. So this is a normal eye. This here the eyeball will move upward relative to the normal eye due to the unopposed action of the remaining extraocular muscles. समझ आ गई बेटा? Okay. Abducent nerve defects. Abducent nerve palsy is a disorder associated with the dysfunction of the cranial nerve 6, which is responsible for causing the contraction of the lateral rectus muscle. ठीक है? All the other muscle which are supplied by the oculomotor, they causes their own function, but the major function is to medially rotate the eye, and this is the only muscle which is supplied by the abducent nerve, which causes the laterally rotates the eye. So when these two opposing muscles will work, the जो आपका जो eyeball है is present in the center. When one of the muscles become dominant, when suppose the lateral rectus is not working, the eyeball will move medially. So when both of the opposing muscles are working, the eyeball present in the center. ठीक है बेटा? So the nerve dysfunction induces esotropia, a convergent squint. अगर अंदर चला जाए eyeball तो उसको convergent कहते हैं, अगर बाहर आ जाए तो उसको divergent squint कहते हैं. On a distant fixation, जब भी आप दूर की कोई चीज देखेंगे तो eyeball ऐसे लोगों में it moves medially if the abducent work or abducent nerve or the lateral rectus is not working, तो patient suffers from a convergent squint. मैंने आपको बताया था कि what is squint? When the opposite muscles are not working properly, that causes the squint. Oh, sorry. Acha, what is Horner's syndrome? This is also a very important condition. Horner's syndrome or oculosympathetic paresis. When the sympathetic outflow is not जो है present, or it is not जो है dealing the eye, ठीक है, supplied to the eye, and is characterized by the classic triad of the meiosis. मैंने आपको क्या बताया था कि सर्कुलर मसल्स इज अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ पैरासिम्पैथेटिक, जो आपके आयरस के सर्कुलर मसल्स हैं, दे आर अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ पैरासिम्पैथेटिक, एंड द रेडियल इज अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ जो है आपके सिंपैथेटिक के. सो व्हेन द सिंपैथेटिक इज नॉट देयर, और जो सर्कुलर मसल्स हैं वो बिकम डोमिनेंट हो जाएंगे और मायोसिस करा देंगे. ठीक है? कॉन्स्ट्रिक्टेड प्यूपल. Ptosis, partial ptosis is occur. Why? Because the Mueller's muscles are under the control of sympathetic. So when the sympathetic uh, flow is not there, the Muller's muscle will not work. The major is the levator palpebrae superioris that is supplied by the third nerve, but the partial ptosis occur because the Muller's muscle is under the control of sympathetic, and that Muller's muscle are not working. That's why the patient has developed the partial ptosis as compared to a normal. ठीक है. Loss of hemifacial sweating due to the absence of the sympathetic output, the sweat gland actually will not work and develop the anhidrosis, as well as anophthalmosis, sinking of the eyeball into the orbital cavity that protects the eye. So these symptoms, all symptoms are present in the Horner syndrome, that is the meiosis, the ptosis, the anhidrosis, and the anophthalmosis. ठीक है. This is called Horner symptom. This is due to the lack of sympathetic supply. Thank you so much.